everyone, it's Simon Ashley here from ATUNE Health Centres. We are live to you today from Pure Performance, and this is Health Highlights. Health Highlights is a show about health professionals and the businesses and the people behind the names we hear about but we don't often see. And today we have Dr. Shoes himself, Clint Norman, going to talk to us a little bit about Pure Performance and the success that they've seen over the last few years they've been open. Welcome, Clint.
Thank you.
Great to have you. So, I love the story behind Pure Performance. Can you just give us a bit of an idea about how Pure Performance came about?
Sure. So back in 2014 is when we first kicked off, and we saw a gap in the marketplace for retailers of good footwear that could actually make a difference and help people with footwear choice and the correct footwear, so that we can help reduce injuries and solve some of their problems.
And I hear that one of the founders actually was a runner, and he actually found it really difficult to get a pair of shoes. Yes. And he's like, it's got to be better than this. So tell us a bit about that.
Absolutely. So I guess part of why Pure Performance is different is our huge range, and some of which you can see here, was to basically reduce that. Where do I go for a good shoe? Or I can't find my size, or I can't find something that I'm after. We saw that gap, and we basically wanted to have something for everybody.
That's fantastic. So you've been open now, 3 years? 3 years, and you've got 3 stores, so you're really growing fast.
We did.
What would you attribute the success to Pure Performance over those last few years?
I think it comes down to care factor. We are really, really passionate about what we do and our customer base, and making sure that we've got the range that suits those needs, but caring about our customer as well, making sure we can help them. If there's an injury or a problem, or they've never been able to find a solution, we want to be there to solve that problem. And part of the reason why we've grown so quickly is our customer base expanded so rapidly that demand for us to pop up everywhere sort of came quick.
Yeah, that's great. So what would you say, there's plenty of shoe stores out around, what makes you different? Why would anyone want to come to Pure Performance, say from Rebel or someone like that?
Well, apart from us caring about our customer, of course, it comes down to our knowledge. So every one of our team members is in some way, shape or form a runner, or passionate about the gym or a sport or something, but being able to understand the products that match those as well, and then what comes with those needs or those common injuries or foot problems, being able to narrow that choice down, it all stems from knowledge, our knowledge of products, and hence my nickname as well. It comes from knowing what we're talking about, having a passion for it, and then having the care for the customer to go, this is the right thing for you, and this is going to help. That's
great. So, how did you get the nickname? It's an interesting name, Dr. Shoes.
Dr. Shoe, yeah. So, it's been around for a few years, pretty much since we opened Pure, and really it was just because I took such a passion personally for knowing, all of our products and, any shoe we have, knowing all the technical details about it, but knowing also how that relates to a customer. And it just kind of came from there. Before you knew it, I was Dr. Shoe.
Fantastic. I like those quirky little names. It really sort of makes things, gives it a really good framework. So, tell us a little bit, because a lot of people actually got back to me and said when we knew about this interview, and they said, look, we'd love to know a little bit more about the science behind the shoes that you guys have, and what are some of the new things that are out there that they may not even be aware of. So would you be able to grab a shoe and maybe just give us a demonstration of some of the science that we will find in some of these shoes?
Absolutely. So, real simply, there's portions of a shoe. How the upper of the shoe fits around your foot, the technology that's in the base of the shoe, right down through to the outer sole and the rubber that they use on the base. All has a purpose, all plays a part. I guess commonly it's going to be cushioning and support. They're the main two factors. Now, each brand, just one that we grabbed here, the Nike base, really well known for the cushioning system that they use all the way through the shoe. So any point of impact or pressure on your feet, the cushioning technology in these is going to take it, help remove that or reduce that level of pressure. Now, every brand will do it in their own way. Asics, Brooks, Mizuno, Nike, or all the other brands. The other one is the support. So commonly found on the inner side of the shoe or through the structure of the base. Is what's going to help reduce the amount of roll that your foot might have, or if you've got bad ankles and you need more stability in the shoe to give you a better platform, that's where you'll commonly find that. So again, each brand will do it in its own way, and it's not that any one brand is better than the other, it's just what do you actually require and what's right for you.
And so, like, I suppose one of the things is there's all these shoe brands saying, oh, they've got this fancy new this and there's this, you know, amazing new that.
Yep.
Is there really anything that's amazing, or is it just more the same stuff that they've rebranded differently?
In a whole, it's great marketing, but there's a lot of really good technologies that are actually applicable to certain things, you know. So a diabetic, for example, might really prefer a soft base. It's going to absorb a lot of impact. Someone that rolls in might need a very strong arch support, and there are some brands that do things a bit differently to others, and it's about narrowing that down and finding out the one that actually works the best. So I guess for us, remove the marketing and just know the product and know the technologies, and then understand our customer. So making sure that we can match that shoe or that person to the right shoe. That's where it really comes into play. So if we remove the marketing and see on a whole what it is, it's cushioning and support, or structure in the shoe, or stability, that's where it really shines through.
And I suppose that's the thing about you guys, is that you're looking at the individual and you're trying to work out with, I mean, how many shoes have you got in the store? About 200 or 250 or something? Yeah, that's what you're saying. So basically you know all the shoes intimately, but then you know and can like look at the foot, and therefore you can determine what sort of shoe is going to be best for each person that comes through the door.
It's the only way to do it.
Fantastic. Now, what about workwear? I have a lot of questions about, well, is there any good shoes out there for me going to work? Have you got any examples of those?
If you're not lucky enough like me to wear trainers to work every day,
which most of us aren't,
you might find sort of a need for a black leather option, or something along the lines with a slip resistant sole and those sorts of things as well. A whole range of products that do that as well. We do carry a few options, and we special order shoes in all the time from a whole range of different suppliers, because again, if we don't have the right thing for you, then we need to get it. So that's sort of part of why we have so many shoes on the wall, is we rapidly grew our range to meet our customer needs. So workwear shoes really important, full grain leather upper, slip resistant, but you still need that cushioning and support, because you spend a lot of time in your work shoes. It's just as important as your trainers for the gym, or trainers for your run that you're doing on the weekend. So workwear is equally as important.
Fantastic. So if I'm just an average person looking for a shoe, can you give me your top 5 tips on looking for the right shoe for your foot?
Come and see us is number 1.
Oh, there you go. Very nice.
Most importantly, we have to figure out what the right shoe is for you. So I guess it comes down to the type of shoe that you require. You know, so is it road running, trail running? Are you just walking? Are you at the gym? Do you need a workwear shoe? And then from there, we look at, you know, what's going to fit correctly, having the right width, you know, the right sort of upper shape, and suiting the foot so that it's a comfortable fit overall, the right level of support, the right level of cushioning. But ultimately, that's sort of why we do what we do, is we help simplify all of those questions that you want answers to which product's the right one for you. But yeah, ultimately come to us with those sorts of points of information, so we can help decipher, out of the 250 shoes that we have, what's the right one for you.
Beautiful. Now, I've also heard that there is a particular way that you guys know to tell lace shoes to actually prevent your foot from getting injured. Now, I'm really interested. I want to know for myself, because I know I go for a run and I've got toenails everywhere and blood come. So can you show us how you actually do that?
Absolutely. So the most common one is called a lock lace, but there's actually like several different variations through the middle of the foot, the forefoot, the height, heaps of different ways that we can actually adjust a shoe to be a better fit for you. The lock lace is the most standard. So basically, best way to do it is just to loop it back onto the same side, and you leave a little gap there. Same on the other, and then you go over and through into the opposite loop, and that pretty much just gets you back to the start of when you would normally tie up your shoes. As you pull that in, that just shrinks the top portion, and it will hold your foot back, and it helps remove slipping, and that causes friction, which can lead to blisters, hot feet, burning feet, all sorts of things. But commonly for sport, netballers, tennis players, indoor soccer, you'll use this lock lace to basically give you a more secure fit on the top of the shoe, which basically just removes all of that movement and helps reduce the risk of getting injured or getting blisters.
Fantastic. Well, that's what it's all about. Health highlights, highlighting different things that are going to help you out there go better in whatever you're doing. So look, thank you, Clint. It's been an honour having you here. Any last words for the viewers?
If you're ever unsure about the right shoe, come and see us. We have a pretty large range, and we're here to help. So yeah, pop in to any one of our stores and we'll be more than happy to look after you.
So there it is, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to find out more information about Pure Performance, you can jump on their website, www.pureperformance.com.au, and you can go to one of their stores in Newcastle, Warners Bay, and they've also got a store out in Maitland. Now, next week, we have an incredible interview with Dr. Asher Morrison. He's a clinical psychologist, I've got to get that right, and he specialises in children. So he's going to talk to us about how we deal with strong-willed kids, how we actually engage our kids today in this society and actually grow really strong kids to be strong out there in the community. He'll also be talking to us about autism and sensory deficits and how we can handle kids like that. So tune in, it's going to be fabulous. If you've got any questions for us regarding Ash's interview, please jump on the Facebook and leave a comment, and I will see if we can incorporate that into the interview for next week. So have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Tuesday, 12:30. Remember, healing is a gift, health a responsibility. Cheers.